President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud assumed office in September 2024, inheriting a nation grappling with poverty, terrorism, and a legacy of corruption. His tenure, however, has been marred by serious allegations of corruption, casting a dark shadow over his administration. These allegations, if proven true, paint a picture of a government more concerned with self-enrichment than serving its people. The accusations are vast and troubling, ranging from money laundering to illicit financing and human rights abuses. They portray a systemic exploitation of power, with officials allegedly siphoning off resources meant for the Somali people. The gravity of these allegations has sent shockwaves through Somalia and beyond, raising concerns about the future of this fragile nation. The international community, which has invested heavily in Somalia's recovery, is watching closely. The allegations against President Mohamud's administration threaten to undermine years of progress and erode trust in the Somali government. It is imperative that these allegations are thoroughly investigated, and if substantiated, those responsible are held accountable. The fight against corruption in Somalia is not just about upholding the law, it is about safeguarding the future of a nation yearning for peace and prosperity. Failure to address these issues could plunge Somalia back into chaos, jeopardizing the hard-won gains of recent years. At the heart of the allegations against President Mohamud's administration is a sophisticated network of financial misconduct. Sources allege a calculated scheme of money laundering, with state resources being diverted into private hands. This alleged scheme, if proven, would represent a betrayal of the Somali people on a grand scale. One of the most alarming accusations involves the exploitation of Somalia's livestock industry. Reports suggest that exclusive rights to export livestock were granted to a Yemeni businessman with close ties to the Houthi network. This arrangement, it is claimed, serves as a front for laundering vast sums of money, enriching corrupt officials and potentially funding terrorism. Furthermore, massive infrastructure projects, including the modernization of Mogadishu's airport and port, have come under scrutiny. Concerns are mounting that these projects, while presented as crucial for Somalia's development, are being used to funnel illicit funds into secret accounts. The opacity surrounding the financing of these projects raises red flags, demanding a thorough and transparent investigation. The alleged involvement of al-Shabaab in these corrupt schemes adds another layer of complexity and danger. Reports indicate that the terrorist group, under the protection of high-ranking officials, is investing in real estate and businesses, further undermining Somalia's fragile stability. This dangerous nexus of corruption and terrorism, if left unchecked, could have devastating consequences for Somalia and the region. The corruption allegations against President Mohamud's administration are not confined to financial misconduct. Disturbing reports have emerged, accusing the government of committing human rights abuses, further deepening the sense of crisis in Somalia. These alleged abuses, if true, paint a grim picture of a government that has lost its moral compass. One of the most egregious accusations involves the forced eviction of vulnerable communities. Reports suggest that the government, in its pursuit of lucrative development projects, has forcibly displaced thousands of people, leaving them homeless and destitute. These actions, if confirmed, would represent a shocking disregard for the basic rights and dignity of Somali citizens. Adding to the turmoil is the looming shadow of political instability. As Somalia prepares for elections, fears are mounting that President Mohamud will exploit the pervasive corruption to rig the electoral system in his favor. This potential power grab, if it materializes, could plunge Somalia back into violence and chaos, undoing years of progress. The international community must not stand idly by as Somalia teeters on the brink. The allegations of corruption, human rights abuses, and election manipulation demand a swift and decisive response. Failure to act will not only betray the Somali people but also risk further instability in a region already grappling with numerous challenges. The gravity of the situation in Somalia demands immediate and decisive action. The international community, particularly those nations and organizations invested in Somalia's stability, must take concrete steps to address the deeply concerning allegations against President Mohamud's administration. Silence and inaction are not an option. The future of Somalia hangs in the balance. First and foremost, a thorough and independent investigation into the corruption allegations is paramount. This investigation must be conducted transparently, with its findings made public. Those found guilty, regardless of their position or influence, must be held accountable through a fair and just legal process. Impunity must not be tolerated. Secondly, targeted sanctions against individuals credibly accused of corruption, human rights abuses, and election manipulation should be implemented. These sanctions should include travel bans and asset freezes, sending a clear message that such behavior will not be tolerated. The international community must use all tools at its disposal to pressure the Somali government to address these issues. Thirdly, robust mechanisms to monitor and oversee international aid and investments in Somalia must be established. This includes enhanced financial transparency, rigorous audits, and whistleblower protection. The international community must ensure that its assistance reaches those who need it most, and is not diverted to line the pockets of corrupt officials. Finally, sustained support for Somali civil society organizations working to promote good governance, human rights, and accountability is crucial. These organizations play a vital role in holding the government accountable and amplifying the voices of ordinary Somalis. Empowering civil society is essential for fostering a culture of transparency and accountability in Somalia. The fight against corruption in Somalia is not just a matter of good governance. It is a matter of peace, security, and human dignity. The international community must stand with the Somali people in their quest for a brighter future, free from corruption and oppression. The time for action is now.